when you're in control of your experience, you can create your experience. But if you're not in control of your experience, other people will always create your experience for you, and you will forever be a victim.
Excuse me 1 second. Frog salad is a go. The target is spoken the code word frog salad. Everyone, all units, frog salad.
Through the window.
I don't know where you pulled frog salad.
I don't know either. I don't know where that came from, but that
Somehow it deeply triggered me.
I don't even know. You have a responsibility to navigate that trigger, man.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Enjoy the reward.
Absolutely. That taking on a responsibility again. It's very meaningful. What I was getting at with the reward thing was like, I was thinking about how if you don't take responsibility, you might avoid some of those punishments. You pass the buck and you don't get the full weight of punishments that are put on you by yourself and guilt or shame or externally from, physical punishment or guilt or shame from others externally. But the other side is the more responsibility you take, more rewards you get. It's almost like financially, like equity and stuff, right? You take 100% of the risk, you get 100% of the reward. Right. You take most of the risk, you get more of the reward if something's successful. And so I think about the experiences I've had where I took responsibility and it paid off and I felt great and I had some kind of reward and okay, awesome. And then the opposite. And what's funny is both of them circle back to this topic of complexity, that if you drill down, if you try to understand either of them, if you go all the way through, neither of them is really that much about you. There's always this context and this system around you. We're interdependent with the world around us. And so the buck never stops anywhere. You can't say you are fully responsible for this frog salad or you are not fully responsible. Everything is connected. So whether it's a good thing or a reward, that can be really, I think, balancing and centering and help be ego deflating to keep doing that inquiry. Like you're saying, to keep seeking deeper understanding in a way that I think overall is still good, but the ego gets less of a boost, right? It's not just like, yes, I did it 100%. It was, all right, you were built on the back of whatever raised you, whoever helped you, whatever adversities gave you strength because you overcame them, whatever lack of adversity kept you from becoming weaker because it was too much at that time. All the good and the bad in your life, everything in your life culminated in that thing that we are now arbitrarily placing a circle around and saying was your responsibility or not your responsibility. So it's complex, it's part of the bandwidth thing being one of the most simple reasons why it's hard to imagine others complexly. It's really hard to have that kind of bandwidth for everything that goes into the human experience.
Yeah, you would spend a lot of time just analyzing.
Time as a parent, yeah. As a parent, you must see that when you try to have a more healthy and nuanced reaction, which one gets you back to work sooner? You just saying bad, good, or you saying, why did you do that? And what was underneath that?
Sure. Yeah. Limited capacities are certainly at play, certainly a big factor.
Yeah, definitely part of it. You want to acknowledge, some of the challenges, but still always there's a ability to take more responsibility. And that is really a path toward a lot. But I guess more than anything in this context, it can help you to cut off some of those automatic reactions, which most of the time aren't serving you. Like you said, that often started in childhood and is what you are doing in childhood really the type of pattern you want to carry into the rest of your life? Most of the time not. In some ways, when if the not knowing is most intimate, in some ways seeing through the eyes of a child, really great, but seeing is different than doing. You might not want to do things the way you did as a child, but maybe you want to see like you did as a child a little bit more, but you don't want to keep doing the way you did.
Yeah, and I think there's an opportunity there for the complexity of your own experience. It's not as simple as, well, they said this, so I did this. Why did you do that? Explore deeper into there because your experience is complex as much as theirs is. And so giving equal time and attention and awareness to the complexity of anybody involved, including yourself, I think could serve you.
And it made me think of Wes Anderson's probably my favorite director. And in one of his recent films, The French Dispatch, a character who's a reporter, I believe, says something that really stuck with me. Like, nothing freezes a man up like why. The question why. I never ask why. Nothing freezes a man, gets him defensive, like asking why. And I thought about it, and I thought, like, I tried to notice it, and I did notice that when I asked, why did you do that? Maybe because of these parental interactions more than anything, and why and how that happened early on. Maybe that's a big root, but for whatever reason, and maybe it's a bandwidth thing, because if you tried to answer it truthfully, why has 95 million answers that you don't even know the first percentage of? So either way, it gets you to a place that kind of freezes. So it's something I try to be aware of when I'm communicating is maybe not never saying why, but trying my best to maybe limit them or be mindful of them. And I think that might be why in some way.
Yeah, I like that. I like the question why personally. That's always been my favorite question to ask. I've always sought to understand the why. Why is this happening? Why are we making this choice? And that, I mean, the question why is what set me on this path, this journey to be in the position that I am, to do the work that I'm doing. It all started with why. I wanted to understand. Um, and so I don't know why could be the key that unlocks understanding that you would otherwise never have. And why can also be something that maybe illuminates the fact that you don't know why. And that might start your journey of deeper understanding and discovery of why you do things and why do you make the choices or the statements that you make.
You got to start the journey. What if you want to, I don't know, decrease suffering, like you said, if you want to, whatever you have a goal for, normally you're going to have to do some understanding and some digging there, but it's going to be uncomfortable, right? The truth will set you free, but it's going to hurt like hell first.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the truth can certainly be difficult to accept. It's much easier to accept, a story that fits the narrative that would really be convenient in that situation. It's a lot harder to accept that, oh, I'm potentially responsible for this thing that I'm not enjoying, and I have to own that I created this for myself. That's difficult to do. Far more difficult than, well, they're to blame. It's their fault. They're a bad person. That's why I'm having this bad thing happening, because they're bad. And then, oh, cool. Well, now it's really easy to keep moving from there because you've just taken it and just, put it onto somebody else. Um, that's a heck of a lot easier than owning that you contributed to, in whatever level or amount, you contributed to your undesirable